Well, good morning, everybody. I wanted to share, hopefully, a quick video, probably not knowing me, telling you what happened when we had a guy come out to walk the land and see about the Hounds Tongue. So, if anybody didn't see my previous posts, the sheep started bringing in these little burrs, and I'd never seen them before, so asked some folks on Instagram and Facebook if anybody knew what kind of plant it was. And I had just figured, I need to get rid of whatever it is because it's going to ruin wool. But turns out it's called Hounds Tongue and it's toxic to livestock. So immediately it went from saving the wool to saving the sheep. Typically most toxic plants, sheep are good about not eating for the most part. I know somebody's out there is going to go, yeah, but we had a sheep that da-da-da-da. Yes, I know. I'm repeating what I've been told by folks who have sheep and folks in the industry. The point is that, yeah, for the most part, these toxic plants, like, oh goodness, I'm sitting down, like the Hound's Tongue, are toxic in large quantities. And as long as that's not the only thing the sheep has to eat, then they're going to be okay. What typically happens is if an animal, if that's all they have, if they're in a field and it's just full of something poisonous and there's not as much, not very much other stuff to graze on, then they don't have any choice and they're going to eat to stay alive. So that's not the case here, so it'd probably be okay, but not taking any chances, especially since the Hound's Tongue would ruin the wool as well. So figured I'd have to deal with that. Shearing came and went, and then the other day Sam came in with more of those little things. And oh wait, that was when I said, oh my gosh, I need to get this identified. So, okay, sorry, getting my chronology mixed up. Anyway, friends on Facebook said, oh good heavens, that's Hound's Tongue, you got to get rid of that. So I called Four Seasons Lawn Care, which I know cracks me up. Yeah, we have a Four Seasons here, and it's not a fancy hotel. Anyway, called them, and this really nice guy who lives about 10 minutes from us came out, and he's a plant guy. He's a botanist. He's been doing this his whole life, so he was really good at recognizing plants. And it was fun. He walked around the acreage with me, and he was pointing out all the native Palouse wildflowers that we have, and saying, yeah, this is good, this isn't, none of these are toxic, and it was really interesting. We couldn't find the Hound's Tongue, and I had figured with all the burrs that I had seen, there's got to be plants out here, lots of them. So we're walking around, can't find that, but he looks down as we get further east toward the wheat field that we border, and all of a sudden there's tons of this stuff that we thought, initially my son thought it might be rhubarb, but it didn't look like rhubarb as it grew bigger. And then another friend said that, the other friend that said it was wild celery? Looked like wild celery, but that was still really tiny when I sent pictures. Anyway, long story short, it's hemlock. Hemlock is in poison. Not good. And I don't want to say it's everywhere. So of the 6+ acres that we bought, it's probably covering an acre. So it's not everywhere, but it's a lot. It's more than I can backpack spray. It's more than, the guy said it would probably take 2 truckfuls of chemicals to come out and spray it. And it would be very, very expensive, which honestly I'm willing to do. But the problem is that we don't have a road to get in to the land up there. And our gates down here aren't big enough for a truck to drive through. So once again, because of the way this was all set up. Anyway, sitting down again. So, and there's cupcakes. Large bum. It's not large, it's perfect. It's my perfect little bum. So anyway, the guy said he would talk to his boss about getting a mower to come out. Because he said it's not like thistle where it's got to be dug out, sprayed and dug out. it doesn't spread that way. He said that's the good thing about it is, you know, you can mow it down, and that's a lot of times how people keep control of it. But again, we're talking those great big mowers like, you know, landscaping services use. They're not going to fit through our gates, and there's no road to go up the top yet to go through the gate that we put in up there. It's like, couldn't it just be easy? But no, it's not, because it's nature. It is what it is. So I went to bed really stressed last night and pretty upset about it. And then I remembered that we have a plan. Okay, we have all the pastures that have been grazed for the last 6 years. We still have those. They're not going to be as good this year because we didn't get enough rain. So we had a year, I think it was 2 years ago, that was like that. And I ended up having to start feeding hay early in August. But I had to do that last year as well because our pastures weren't in good shape anymore. So long story short is that while we're getting the new land cleaned up, we have the old pastures that we can use. And it'll be okay. They'll maybe get to rest next year. The other good thing is that I'm not going to be able to show it to you without walking around up there, but it turns out that Black Velvet's new pasture, so you see the cross fence that's going up the hill, that pasture over on this side is perfect. I mean, there's nothing invasive on it. It is just beautiful grazing land. And that is a good side. From here, it doesn't look that big, but if you go over the top of the hill and down, there's a lot of space there to graze. So even if we were back to only being able to use our old pastures, like say we couldn't use this new one at all, just say it was totally screwed and we have to reseed the whole thing, we still have that. We have all of that was new. So we are actually in better shape than, you know, we were. You go eat your breakfast. Yes, go eat with Sam Sam. He's not going to chase you away like those mean little Icelandic girls. Says, no, that's not what I want. I want lovies, Mommy. Possibly cookies. Cookies would be nice. You're such a sweetie. You are such a dear. Yes, that's why you're named Dad. It's not because of your coloring. You know, it's because of my coloring. But I'm also a little deer. Yes, you are. Go eat with Sam Sam, honey. Don't look at me like that. See, now I can't even talk anymore. You've sucked me in. Yes, you have. Beautiful girl. So, all is not lost. I am not as sad as I was last night. And then this morning I woke up and I got to thinking about it. And these plants, I mean, you can kick them out of the ground. They don't have deep root systems. They're really, it's nothing like the thistles I dealt with last year. So my plan now is to talk about how handsome Garnet is, because he's awful handsome. Yes, you are, sweet boy. Yes, I know you're wonderful. My plan is my husband had to rig up. We took down a fence down below because we weren't going to use those pastures anymore, just a little fence to get our horse trailer in and out and parked really easily. So he's going to get that hooked back up today, and so everybody's going to get to go graze down in their old pastures. And those have grown up really, really nicely because we didn't let them down there at all. So they're all going to go graze. Garnet will probably join his flock again because he's going to be sad when he sees everybody taking off down the hill without him. And I think it's going to be better all around, even though it's been really nice having Garnet with Black Velvet, and he's enjoyed, you know, not having to fight for food, not getting pushed around by those little poopy Icelandic girls and boy. It's still going to be better for him to be with everybody because long term he's going to outlive Black Velvet. That's just how it is. Black Velvet cannot go up and down the hills grazing anymore, not down where everybody else is going to go. So she needs quiet, and I haven't been able to feed her any alfalfa since Garnet joined her because wethers shouldn't have alfalfa. It's bad for their urinary systems. It's too rich, and it can cause blockages and all sorts of things. So, woke up this morning thinking, I have a plan. Everybody's going to go graze. Black Velvet will be in her spot where she's safe. And then I'm going to go up with a garbage bag and a pair of gloves and just start pulling those things. And it will probably take me several days to do it all. And it's a little frustrating because my lower back is going to hate me for probably a couple weeks. Oh, Black Velvet, honey. I don't know if you saw her. Yeah, see, she's shifting all the time on her back legs. Those are the ones that I think have the worst arthritis. They're the ones she hurt when she jumped off the deck. So, anyway, boy, my stream of consciousness that you get to hear first thing in the morning. So I'm just gonna do it. It'll be fine. Fortunately, I already said all that. It's not gonna be hard to pull up. I just pull them up, stick them in a garbage bag, and it's good. And I'll just do, as much as I can each day without hurting myself, and then tackle some more. And it'll be fine. Obviously, it's not what I want to do, but sometimes you just got to do. Oh, baby girl, I can hardly stand it. Oh, why don't you go lay down and rest? Let your morning medicine take effect. Well, Garnet's over here eating some hay that I left for him. He likes to graze or eat hay next to his flock through the fence. I snuck her some alfalfa down there, and she nibbled at that for a bit. Pardon me. Some days she's, pardon me, she's stiffer than other days. But she still eats. Yeah, you do. And she likes to go graze out in her pasture, so she's doing okay. Yeah, that's part of that's part of living, isn't it? Sometimes you get thrown a curveball and you have to deal with it. This was just, I think I had my new land built up in my mind as this, perfect Eden. I was like, I'm never going to have to worry about having enough grazing for everybody, and it's going to be perfect. And then I find out it's not, and it's like, oh crap, this isn't perfect at all. But that's okay. Nothing is perfect. And it was fascinating walking around with that guy yesterday. I mean, he knows all these different plants, the Latin names for them, explaining, and so many of them were native Palouse prairie wildflowers. So it's going to be kind of cool if we can get all of this hemlock out of there. I mean, hopefully, I would think that would mean that some of these wildflowers and the grasses will be able to come back even stronger. So it's actually kind of an exciting opportunity. Now after I've talked about all this with you, now I've turned it around. Now it's an exciting opportunity. It's not backbreaking labor. It's an exciting opportunity. Bless you. So that's what's happening in Hemlock Town. We're going to call that Hemlock Hill now, I guess. Oy, it's very frustrating, but it's an exciting opportunity. All right, that's what's happening here. Wanted to fill you all in. Oh, and I didn't tell you, we found Hounds Tongue. We found 2 plants. That was it. They were the dried up stalks with all those nasty little burr things that were sticking to the wool. He pulled them right out of the ground and showed me where they had a couple started for this year. We dug those up, and I mean, we looked everywhere, and those were it. So I think it was a gift. I think all those nasty little burrs coming in on the sheep was a gift to alert me that I needed to get that pasture checked out before they decided that hemlock was tastier than people say. Yeah. So the Hound's Tongue is gone. Yay. So So that was good. All right, let me do a quick plug. In the website store, blainefleeceandfiber.com, there is roving. I've got 5 different rovings. Garnet, ruby, not Rohan, I can't talk. I have too many R named sheep, that's the problem. I've got Garnet, Ruby, Rosie, and Radagast roving. And then I have fingering weight yarn that was spun from Rohan's fall fleece. And it is beautiful. All of it's beautiful. I mean, I'm always just thrilled to death with my roving. Oh, and I also have, I have some Hog Island left. I think I've got 8 ounces left of the gray Hog Island. And that was processed at Soundview Fiber Mill over on the west side of Washington. I think they're on Puget Sound. I'm pretty sure that I've seen their pictures. They did a fantastic job on that, and I haven't done a shout out to them yet. They don't have a pin drafter, so the roving is a little different. And I can't explain why, but it's different than the roving that I do from Fibers First, but it is just as nice. So that's the last time I'm going to have Hog Island in stock, and that gray is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous gray. With Rohan's yarn, I only have 10 skeins, and that might actually go down to 9 because I might be keeping one. So grab that while you can. I'm not always going to be spinning anyone's wool into yarn. Maybe just once a year I'll do that. So when it happens, like with Rohan's this time, it's not going to happen again maybe for another 5 or 6 years. You know, I might rotate around and do it again, but I don't know yet. So when I do roving, good gravy, when I do yarn from one of the sheep, if you're interested in it, try to grab it as soon as you can, because it won't be back for a while. So that's it. That's what's happening here on Hemlock Hill. And I really appreciate everybody listening to this. I hope everybody's having a good day. I can't think of anything else I wanted to tell you about. Just wanted to keep you up to date on the pasture situation. And I'll take some pictures when I'm out there and show you what it looks like before I get started, because it's a lot. And then after I get all done, that'll really feel good. That will truly have been an exciting opportunity. All right, wherever you are, I hope you are getting lots of exciting opportunities headed your way, like actual good ones. And have a great day.